Well, Sean, the NFL kicked off its 2020 season last night with the Super Bowl champs, the Chiefs, beating the Texans on their home turf. But the season opener wasn't without some controversy. I think we expected this. Yeah. Protesters started this even before the national anthem began, when the Texans left the field and headed back to the locker room. The Chiefs defensive end, Alex Okafor, was seen kneeling, and while the stadium had limited capacity due to COVID-19 restrictions, fans could still be heard booing as players linked arms in a, quote, moment of unity following the national anthem. Well, let's bring in our company to discuss this. Here with us today is media reporter for The Hill, Joe Concha, and host of WMAL's Morning on the Mall, Mary Walters. Thanks for being here, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Guys, I think half people were Chiefs and Texans fans that tuned in, and probably half of the audience just wanted to see what happened at the beginning when the national anthem was played. It was interesting. I'll admit I was taken back a little bit. All of the Chiefs, except for one, stood, and the Houston Texans stayed in the locker room. Joe, let me start with you. Were you surprised at all about how that season started with those two teams doing those things?
Well, there's also the Black National Anthem as well, Sean. And no, I'm not terribly surprised, because we already have seen the movie before this summer in the NBA, in Major League Baseball. Now, the numbers are in as well, Sean, in terms of ratings. Is America tuning back into football? 16.4 million people tuned into NBC last night. But here's the thing about that number. That's 20% lower than last year's opener. And again, as you mentioned, this is the Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl champions. Patrick Mahomes, your MVP. This is your marquee team right now.
Not
and
mine.
You're down 20%.
Not mine.
In general, right? That's the team you want playing probably in your opening game. And sure enough, it did not perform well. And again, we're in a pandemic. It's not like people are out at restaurants and doing fun things. Maybe some are, but most are still at home. And to be down where 1/5 of your audience is gone, that's a problem for the NFL kicking things off.
Mary, were you shocked at all? I admit, I thought it would be more, right? I thought there'd be more displays of this. And so what were your take on it?
Well, I think that they do this at their own peril. To Joe's point, there were fewer people who tuned in. People want to escape. Some people are still home. They're not going to work. They just want to escape. And everywhere you turn, everything comes with a hefty dose of social justice. And it's just like, I want to go to the movies and just watch a movie. I don't want this.
I want to just, right after the national anthem was played, though, all the team members locked arms in unity for this moment of togetherness. The fans booed it. What did you make of that?
I don't know how anyone's surprised at that. These people, I mean, the fans have made it quite clear how they feel about this. And again, it's just a social justice thing. Why does everything have to come with a serving of politics on the side? Why can't I just enjoy my football game? People want it as entertainment, as an escape. And I'm not surprised at all. And I think the ratings are going to go down even more. People are appalled. We don't have two national anthems in this country. Since when did that happen? We're becoming more and more divided. And the one thing we used to be able to agree on was our favorite sports team. And now people are even divided on that. People are tired of it. I'm not surprised.
All right. Well, Joe, one of our favorite topics here, definitely yours and Sean's, is always talking about how the media is biased or not telling the truth. But now we actually have evidence to show this. Jake Tapper, he attempted to convince Sean Parnell to run in a different district than his friend, Connor Lamb. He denied it and said, no, I never did that. That's not accurate. Here's a DM from him that says, the best of luck in your race. For the record, I wasn't trying to talk you out of running. I was just trying to talk you into running in a safer Republican district. Laugh out loud. That was to Sean Parnell. And then when asked about it in a text, he actually completely denied the allegations and said, nope, that wasn't true. You know, the interesting thing is this is being reported on, thankfully, from both sides, Joe. And they're saying, the coverage is saying, oh, that Jake Tapper lied about this. But what they're not saying is that he is trying to influence a swing district in a swing state. This could affect the presidency.
It's stunning, quite frankly, guys, because what we're seeing here is an anchor. Again, this isn't a partisan opinion person on cable news. This is CNN's basically their signature face. He does State of the Union on Sunday mornings. He does a weekday show on there as well. He is billed as an anchor, and he's getting involved in these things. And look, I think lying about it is just as bad, because here it is, proof, not he said. There it is in writing. And it makes you wonder, how many other races has Jake Tapper tried to impact in terms of throwing himself in there? We also saw Chris Cuomo, a primetime anchor, who was coaching Michael Cohen, the president's former attorney, not just on here's the questions I'm going to give you, but here's how you should answer them. So now we have Joe Biden doing a CNN town hall next week. And I never thought I'd say this 5 years ago, but it begs the question now. Will that town hall be compromised where the Biden campaign and CNN are coordinating on how to put on the best possible show? Because in the case of Tapper and the case of Cuomo, CNN has not put out a statement of reprimand or any statement at all, nor has Tapper, nor has Cuomo.
No one's anyone else in the media except conservative media, Joe. No one except conservative media has touched this. It's amazing. You know, the Cuomo stuff, the Tapper stuff, and no coverage of it at all. Mary, I got to switch because there's one thing that I got to get in before we finish this thing. It was epic. Bret Baier was interviewing the national press secretary for the Biden campaign last night about Biden's use of a teleprompter during interviews and Q&As with people, not giving a speech, but doing interviews. You got to listen to this. Take a listen.
Has Joe Biden ever used a teleprompter during local interviews or to answer Q&A with supporters?
Brett, we are not going to engage. This is straight from the Trump campaign.
But yeah, they're using it.
And what it does, Brett, is it's trying to distract the American people.
They're using it. They talk about it every day. Can you say yes or no?
That's because they talk about it every day, Brett, because they don't have a coherent strategy.
Well, you have an answer. Yes or no?
Brett, they talk about it every day because they don't have a coherent argument for why Donald Trump deserves re-election.
I understand, but you can't answer the question.
Brett, I am not going to allow the Trump campaign to funnel their questions through Fox News.
You know, I thought the beautiful thing is Brett says, yeah, that's what I'm doing. They make this accusation against you. Do you agree or disagree? And it's a simple question. Do you use a teleprompter for media interviews and Q&As with supporters, not speeches? And they can't answer the question, Mary.
Well, I think that is what the Biden campaign is purposely doing. Joe Biden's message when he speaks is so muddied. That guy's the good guy on the team. He's the coherent one on the team. I even said to Brett today, we had him on our show, and I asked him, I said, that really wasn't the spokesperson. Are you just tell me that guy didn't show up, and that's just a guy from craft services that they put in front of the camera. Because if he's the spokesperson, they're in big trouble. I don't understand this, and yet he's still beating Donald Trump in the polls. How is this happening?
I know.
It's crazy.
All right, guys, I want you to stick around. Our company quiz is up next. Joe Concha has a lot on the line. Stick around. We'll be right back.